There we go. To get my monitor to somewhere. Well, so we're going to get started here with our fourth tale of the Tales of the Fall and Rise of House SupQit'aH, the Warriors of Zeni Station. So, last we left off with our heroes, they had taken the Mengi Research Facility, and had begun repairs on the ship, the treachery. They managed to recruit some Raza scavengers who were at the base, and also recruited some Gamola fighter pilots, along with their very damaged fighters. Start first in the medical bay aboard the treachery. And we look first to Torg and Keldar on their way to the sick bay to see how their captain is faring, as they've been told on that morning that there is positive signs from the captain Flood to awaken from his poison. As Torg and Keldar are walking over there, which one of you would have been the lead on trying to see about the repairs being sped up for the treachery and the fighters? Because at present, you're looking at about 9 days worth of repairs. If you just leave it to Hooka's scavengers to help repair the ship.
I imagine since I'm the engineering officer that it would be me.
It would be, just so you know what the task is. And one could assist the other on this, of course.
I'll assist.
It's a presence command engineering difficulty 2. For each, if you succeed, they'll knock off 2 days off the repair time, plus an additional day per momentum spent. If you roll a complication, they'll add 2 days.
Would a maintenance focus apply here?
It would. I will take it.
So I have a 2 in engineering to... I can assist. Give me a roll 1 die.
Yep.
I have 4 successes on my own.
Nice roll. Nice roll again.
Or that's 5 hits. Unless you have a focus there, Torg.
So I can probably put cybernetics as a focus.
I wouldn't take cybernetics. Cybernetics would be more like putting things onto a person, like an artificial arm, artificial eye, that sort of thing.
I mean, wouldn't the controls be like cybernetics too?
No, that'd be like electronics, and stuff like that, computers. Yep. Hey, sometimes you don't have to focus. It happens. That's why you have subordinates for it. Make them do it. Yes, with 5 hits, that generates 3 momentum. So you've knocked it down from 9 to 7 days right now. So you can shave that down further to a minimum of 1 day. Well, sorry, it's 2 days per momentum. So you can knock off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can knock it down to 1 day if you spend all the momentum.
I think I'm in favor of doing that.
I'm good with it.
Yep, me too.
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
So by that morning, Keldar and Torg, you're both aware that with your leadership and more advanced knowledge, because Buhoka, he's a great scavenger, and he was trained by Ross's scientists, but he was not trained at the Klingon Academy about the various ways you can speed repairs.
Speed up repairs.
And also just motivation. You just motivate them to work harder and try harder, and you guys throw yourself into it every once in a while to kind of help move things along. So yeah, the ship and the fighters are at full fighting strength by that morning.
Okay, because I could specialize in fixing the shipboard weaponry. If any of that needed fixing. I can apply ship weapons and tack.
Yeah. So does Torg or Keldar say anything to each other before entering the sickbay?
I don't think so. I just head into the sickbay.
I just kind of nod at him. Like nothing needs being said at this point.
So as the two of you walk in, you notice that Buhoka and Lord Singer Sasir are standing over Hod Oda, who is slowly waking up.
I approach Hod Oda.
As do I.
What?
Hod Oda, what do you know of the situation?
Report.
Ship will be underway in no time at all, sir.
What happened? Why am I in sickbay?
You were poisoned, sir.
Poisoned. Ugh, my head.
You and the XO were both poisoned.
The Lord Singer speaks up. My best estimation is it happened during the battle at the Bemoth. Even the smallest of cuts would have been enough to expose you to the poison that Rasa devised.
Not enough that they outnumbered us and ambushed us. They had to try and poison us like a bunch of cowardly Romulans.
The antidote was strengthened by my nanites, sir.
What was that?
I said the antidote was strengthened by my nanites.
I have machines running through my blood?
Not anymore. They were designed to self-destruct once their job was accomplished.
Very well. He sits up and then kind of catches himself, shakes his head. What is our status?
Repairs are nearing completion, and our crew complement has increased.
We have
Who are
landed in.
you?
Hod? Hoka stands up a little straighter now that he's being looked at.
We have landed on a planet. This is the commander of the force that was here.
Is he wearing a house badge?
Yeah, he's wearing a House Rasa badge, and he has boo stripes on his arm, indicating he's the equivalent of a sergeant, or boo in Klingon.
I assume your presence indicates that you have decided not to side with the traitors.
They had no idea the traitorous elements among the Rasa.
Well, you're welcome. You and your men will ride with us to glory as we retake our house and the Bemoth sector.
Yes,
Pat
Hodora.
on the shoulder. Now then, tell me of this planet.
I will defer to Uhoka, since he was here first.
Ming 2, Bud, is a Class K planet. Dry world that is only survivable due to the terraforming efforts of House Rasa. Most of the efforts were focused around the station to ensure the research was achievable. Long ago, it was made by the great scientist Dalu, who wanted to advance our medical and cybernetic development. This was abandoned during the Dominion War, and my team was sent to recover what we could, scuttle the rest. Until your ship and crew arrived, at which point we deferred to Sug Tarkin as the senior of my house. And as he's subservient to you, we are thus subservient to you.
Your loyalty will be rewarded. This base, defenses functional?
They are hot. We were attacked by 2 fighters immediately upon developing the cure for the disease, and we were able to take them down. We have tracked them into the shuttle bay.
Excellent.
Repairs have been progressing well. We will be ready to go within the day.
I look at Keldar and Tord and Cecere. You have all done well. This
Thank you,
base
Bob.
will be our first asset. Keldar, see that when we are ready to leave, that its defenses are set on automatic, keyed to the command codes of the senior staff.
I will see what I can do, Han. They are not designed to be automated.
It's
Well,
of Rasa
in the
design, sir. They're meant to... We've had troubles with... He looks to the side for a second and looks back. We have trouble with our automated systems being a little too enthusiastic in their target acquisition, so we tend to program our turrets to be manned as a safety override. Although with some efforts and time, we should be able to set them to automated, although I would advise that when we return, we have our shields up just in case.
I can take a look at it and see if I can't input House SupQit'aH as a friendly into their system.
Well, in any event, make it as difficult as possible for anyone except us to access this base again.
Without my command code, there will be no turning them off, as it were.
Set them to accept the command codes from all senior staff.
Will do.
Lorsinger, have you been able to monitor any of the communications and news channels to see what the current status in Bamoth sector is, what propaganda our enemies are putting out against us.
Currently, they're saying that House SupQit'aH has been brought low and its leadership slain, and that the triumvirate of the houses, Banan, Rasa, and Gamola, will bring order to the sector. However, there is some chatter questioning of their legitimacy, but as of thankfully for us, the chaos that they created in their attack has also rendered acknowledgement of their rule difficult. For the laws of succession require the Lorsinger of House SupQit'aH to authorize it. The only way they can override me would be to step up to the High Council, which is something they can't really do while House SupQit'aH forces, or what's left of them, try to array themselves. They will be... My guess, given history, is that they will have to gain control of SupQit'aH forces before they risk going to... in the sector, before they bother going to Kronos. To do otherwise would be to go all the way to Kronos only to have their farmlands ripped out from behind them. It'd be foolishness, and traitors though they may be, these three houses have long vied for this sector. They know the game as well as we. Their lore singers will know what I know.
Understood. Then our next step is to make contact with House SupQit'aH forces and begin to consolidate for a pushback, and to let them know that House SupQit'aH is not leaderless or laid low.
We can send a message telling them to expect us.
Yes, they did get to Zeni Station from what I saw on records, but they haven't sent anything back. It's been more than a day. Even with the interference, they should have heard something, and curious who tried to contact them.
Well, we will try again. Perhaps if I contact them with in regalia with the glaive, there might be more immediate response.
One other thing, Zhou. Due to the reports of the Triumvirate, as they call themselves, there is talk in the High Council of going to war with Starfleet, given their accusation that the USS Kismet was the reason why Bamoth Station crashed into Central City. I don't know how much help we're going to get from Starfleet in this regard, while the High Council is divided on this matter. Though, thankfully, they've yet to come down one way or the other, since the evidence is thin. Though if Starfleet did do this, then we may be on the brink of war while our sector is in disarray.
I don't imagine
determining exactly who did this even more important.
Agreed.
War with Starfleet. Could this have been the ultimate goal all along?
Quite possibly.
What benefit would it serve?
Seizure of the Shackleton Expanse regions. Long have many houses, older houses like Gamola, and have applied to SupQit'aH to expand in that direction. But with our alliance, we have seen ourselves unwilling to expand that way, rather instead rimward. But the enemies we face are lacking in their ability to withstand the might of the Empire. Starfleet would be a mighty foe to challenge for any bellicose house. Not to say SupQit'aH is not one to relish in a virtuous war, but traditionally we've never gone to war that wasn't of benefit to the Empire and its people.
My father told me that many of the older houses and their leaders are chafing at our alliance with the Federation, and indeed I've had I have served with officers, even younger men, who dreamed of supposedly better days of expansion and conquest. Still, if they did cause the downfall of Bamoth Station and so many deaths, Starfleet will have to pay.
As a former Starfleet officer, I can almost guarantee that the Starfleet was not behind this. Not their way.
Be that as it may, I believe our next steps remain the same. We must make contact with remaining House SupQit'aH forces.
And
address the Warfinger.
once it's possible, I will also make contact with House Martok to see if I can get anybody to come to us as well.
No. The High Counselor and House Martok will not come to our aid. This is an internal House matter. To this point, nothing is threatening the stability of the Empire. For now, it is better to see if we can handle this for ourselves. As it is, we are not in a position of strength to negotiate. It might be politically more convenient for House Martok to recognize the triumvirate than it would be to uphold our claim, righteous as it may be. Let us negotiate from a position of power when we negotiate.
That may be, but I do have men who are loyal to me.
Men would be welcome.
I would like to address the Lore Singer, and I'll ask her, how goes the recovery law of Rurik?
I don't entirely understand. Actually, you might understand it. Hold on. Might be able to answer this question for you. I'm afraid I'm not entirely understanding of the process. I believe Boo Hoka would know more. Boo kind of straightens up again when he's referenced. He's like, oh no. Why are all the important people talking about me? I forgot you guys couldn't see the title of his name.
I'll turn to him expectantly.
It looks like Tarkin is joining us today.
Hello, hi all.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry for being late.
It's okay, $50 fine. Yes, Tarkin, you step into the sick bay, having seen, to bring you up to speed, Torg and Keldar have been able to, since yesterday, have been able to bring the ship and the fighters to full fighting strength. And you had heard news that Hod Oda was finally getting on his feet after his poison. You came down a little later because you were busy checking it with the fact that you have a science staff, so you actually had to have a department meeting to discuss what you can do and what you know and what they know. Although most of your scientists are, well, they're scavengers, but it's the Rosso way to make use of what others would consider not useful.
Yeah, okay. And Boo Hoka is as well part of that staff, is that right?
He is, but he's the one. He was attending to the captain and the HUD and the law to make sure they recovered.
Okay. So Tarkin strides in, has a measure of the room, looks at Hod Oda and says, "Kapla, Hod, it is good to see that you have recovered."
Oda walks up and just claps him on both shoulders, with that jarring Klingon. Ah, Tarkin, well done, Kapla, indeed. You have brought us the first allies. I will remember it. And I look between Tarkin and the Boo. I am not one of those Klingons commanders who disdains science and engineering and these skills. All of you will have places of honor in our voyages and in the future of House SupQit'aH.
The aged Klingon looks at Hod appreciatively and just nods. After the acts of House Raza, my appreciation for what you have done. Hopefully we may recover their honor through our acts together.
You honor yourself and your house. Now, Tarkin, Hoka, see what you can do about securing the base to make it accessible only to us and make it difficult for others to override that before we leave. Let's see. Sisir, Keldar, come with me. We will try and contact these people at Zeni Station one more time before we cast off.
Don't think the exile has recovered yet.
Oka kind of shifts from side to side a little nervously, but doesn't say anything because he's not being referred to yet.
What is the status of La Roruk?
Seer gives Hoka a look.
His recovery seems to be a little bit slower than yours, Captain.
But he will recover.
That much is certain.
I don't know about that, sirs. The Rorik's body has been rejecting and fighting the nanites. His progress is slowed to a point. His treatment's been slowed, and he is... I'm doing everything I can to make sure that his body doesn't go into shock at the moment. We should... we will be keeping an eye on him, but for now, I don't know, frankly, when he'll awaken.
Do what you can. Death by poison is no way for a warrior to pass to Stovokor.
Perhaps not. Our first priority should be finding a real doctor.
All the more reason to push for Zeni Station.
Hod, I have some experience in medicine. I have experimented on and undertaken some research in administering that cures, and he seems somewhat hesitant in terms of the extent of that research. Perhaps I may be able to assist with this warrior.
Indeed, do what you can.
He nods and tries to get an update with Lawsinger in terms of Rorik's status.
Lord Singer, as you begin asking her about it, she gestures Boo Hoka to come over. Hoka knows more of these matters than I do. I've simply been supervising him and recording the events to a son of SupQit'aH.
Okay. I want to add, would it be Klingon physiology, or maybe just physiology in general? to my focuses.
Xenophysiology.
Is that better? Okay.
Yep.
Xenophysiology.
Xenophysiology or physiology will do it. Yeah, if you make it Klingon physiology, you narrow your focus, which you can do that. I just don't know mechanically if you want to do that. If you get any non-Klingons aboard.
Right. So, xenophysiology.
Cecil, Keldar, with me to the bridge.
What of Torg, Hud? Says Slorsinger.
I thought he was working on the weapons or something.
Oh, I got mixed up. Sorry, that was the GM screwing that up.
Yeah, because I'm figuring communications is usually an engineering task, therefore Keldar and Cecir as the Lord Singer to stand with me for the message to kind of reinforce the fact that this is legitimate SupQuit'aH.
Guys, head off. Before we leave sickbay, Tarkin, you want to look into Rorik's condition?
Yes, please.
Well, too bad you don't get to. Reason Medicine difficulty 3. The ship will be assisting you. Well, they'll try to assist you because you don't have a proper medical. Well, even if you had a proper medical department, your medicine score for this ship is 1 anyway. So.
Alright, so reason medicine, so that's 15. And my xenophysiology applies.
Yep.
Do we have any momentum? No.
No. It's a threat on the table.
Oh, I think I do have, it's medicine, isn't it? So, just 1 success.
And the ship is up. And Hoka will try to assist because he is there. It only gets you 1 extra only 2 successes, unfortunately. Looking into it, it's hard to determine. You don't learn anything new beyond what Boo Hoka discerned. It does look like that Rorik's just having a strange allergic reaction to the nanites, and his body's kind of fighting them. Unfortunately, that means that the nanites are trying to save him, but they're being attacked. So he's having this weird looping effect where the nanites are both being attacked, but also trying to repair him at the same time. So he's not dying, but it's not helping his. He's kind of in this weird stasis mode. But it could go either way. You're not entirely sure how this works anymore because you worked on this, and now this is a weird complication that neither you or Hoka really understand beyond what he's discovered.
Is it worthwhile if I add a value here in order to re-roll?
You could. You have a value slot open.
Yeah, I've still got 2 more. So
I could assist if necessary.
Well, your character left to help with the station.
Okay. The automate the weapons.
The weapons, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe in terms of a value, something about being persistent and determined to find answers. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I'm just thinking.
Okay.
No, those don't. I had some suggestions from your house leader. I was like, no, those don't apply in this.
Okay.
I don't know, grip tightly and never let go, something like that.
Yeah. So that he won't give up on trying to find an answer.
Sorry, what's the name of the value again?
Grip tightly and never let go.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying group tightly. I was like, what? What does grouping have to do with it? Look, I'm a really good shot downrange, all right? Yeah, grip tightly and never let go. Yeah, I'll take that.
So I can re-roll, maybe just re-roll the 18.
Yep. Oh
no. There we go. That's how the dice rolls.
I'll take 2 threat. His character's already in enough trouble. You work as best you can, but you spend quite a significant amount of time trying to puzzle this out. Not much avail.
Got a quick question.
I probably have a quick answer.
How many command codes can the station operate under? Or what's the maximum amount of command codes?
As many as you feel assigned. It's like a starship. You can give like the admin code, the CO code, the station command code, the XO's code, chief of security's code, so it can devolve down. Or you can just have one master code that controls everything. Like the command code is the station commander code is the ultimate command code that you always start with that one, and then you break it down if you need more people to have limited access.
All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create one master code, and myself, the captain, and the XO will have access. For now.
Okay, so I'm gonna make that a control security. You get to set the difficulty, so basically you choose how hard you want it to be for someone else to break through your encryption. So anywhere between 1 to 5.
I get a 4 as for difficulty to crack the encryption.
Okay, so you have to hit that difficulty to set the code. Otherwise you'll make the code, but it will have holes in it. The ship does help with its computer security, which is better than nothing.
Can I buy an extra die with threat?
Sure. How many dice are you buying? Just 1?
Make it 2. So
2?
Total of, I'm rolling a total of 4 dice.
3 threat for me. So 1, 2.
What?
That was the ship.
Oh, you rolled the ship. Have a focus here.
I have a focus in weapons and tactics.
Yep, ship weapons and tactics, because in effect, I'll treat this akin to a ship. So that means security roll that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits.
Do we get it?
Yep, so you generate 1 momentum.
Nice.
As Tor's working away, securing the station, Orsinger walks over to Hodada as he takes his seat at the command chair. Moves out of the way so Keldar can stand in frame of the view screen.
And Oda will have the glaive like laying across his thighs to start with. Open a channel to Zeni Station.
Before I do that, I'm going to approach the Hod's chair. I'm going to say, Joe, you are the leader of my house, and I have no desire to lead the house. But I want you to know that I will do my duty, and if you dishonor our house, I will kill you.
Ha!
Then I'll go to my chair.
Spoken like a true warrior of House SupQit'aH. Should I dishonor my house, I expect you to kill me.
And I'm going to try to open a
God.
channel.
That would be.
As an ally of House SupQit'aH, the same goes for me.
Oh, lots of threat.
Control engineering difficulty 5.
Okay.
There's the storms between you and your location are really intense, and it's actually making contact and getting any communication out of system very difficult.
I will spend 1 momentum for an extra die, and 2 threat for another die above that. And then I assume the ship will assist.
Yep.
What's the ship assisting with?
With
Communications engineering?
communications +1, because the engineering department's been reduced. I don't have enough people.
So 10. 1 die. 10. Discipline for focus 1. Complication standard. No help. But no hurt.
So with bold engineering and technical expertise, I can re-roll how many dice?
Bold lets you re-roll one of your dice. The technical expertise will let you re-roll one of your dice or the die the ship rolled to assist you.
Okay. Can I re-roll one of my dice and the ship die?
Yep.
Cool. Do you want to roll for the ship, Oda?
Sure. That's the challenge dice. The task roll.
Because if the ship gets it, you won't have to re-roll one of your dice.
Focus standard.
Oh, there you go. You have 5 exactly.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm gonna re-roll my die just to see if we can get momentum.
Okay.
So 1 momentum.
You got 5
So
exactly because you re-rolled one of your existing dice, so you still have a total of 4 successes out of your 4d20.
Oh.
Yeah. You needed to hit one of your 1 to 5 to trigger the next success. You needed an extra success.
That's correct. My mistake.
It's okay. You dishonored your house. I'll never forgive you. You have a channel open.
Zeni Station. This is Oda, son of Kolek, captain, and with the fall of Bamoth Station, Jo of House SupQit'aH.
On screen, what appears on screen is a laborer of all people, and you see the view of what appears to be the station kitchen. And the guy kind of looks over, annoyed. What? Stomps over to his little screen. Who dares interrupt my preparations? I have many men to feed, and no time for takeout orders. Who is this?
I will kind of side eye at Keldar that said, I am Oda, son of Kolek, Jo of SupQit'aH. You will connect me to your station commander.
You lie.
And I twirl the glaive up off of my lap and bring it ringing down on the spike at the bottom. Hold your tongue, cook. I hold the glaive of SupQuit'aH. Beside me stands the lore singer of our house. I sit in the captain's chair of the Dokchanaka.
Give me presence command difficulty 1, because you have the difficulty would be higher due to all the propaganda and such, but there's a lot of evidence staring him in the face right now, and he's not even a KDF officer, he's just a laborer. He's just a cook.
Right, okay.
Poor guy.
Difficulty.
Of all the people on the station to get that phone call, like, oh god, why are you calling me? Yeah, sure, the leader of the house is calling my personal line. Sure, buddy. Oh, that's all the regalia. That's the real ship, and oh no.
Did we put in orders for dinner?
No takeout orders. No.
What is, hold on a second.
We do not have a drafted window.
We'll beam over for food. Damn it. Or I have a sudden craving for roast targ. With the sauce humans call barbecue.
So, okay. So I'll give you a threat for bold and a third die. 17.
Oops.
Discipline is 5. Normal comp.
Gracious.
So 3 successes.
Do momentum. I did not recognize you. Joe. He looks confused, and Cecile kind of just nods at him like, no, keep going, you're alright. I am Koroth. I am the cook I am the station cook, here on, Zeni Station.
I prefer Fildengach. Fresh. Now, connect me to station commander.
That will be difficult, Joe. We don't have one.
What? Explain.
Well, it would seem that the officers disagreed on whether to attend to the disaster Bamoth. And some fighting occurred in station command, resulting in most of the senior staff in a... Embarrassingly, Joe, we are in the midst of a succession battle for command. The seer just shakes her head like, what? What foolishness is this?
And you and your people, which side of this battle do you fall upon?
I've been able to rally. He says it with a slight shrug, like, for lack of a better word. Rally the laborers, both in the engine pits and in the cooking staff. We've largely just stayed neutral in this affair. This is not for mere civilians to battle over. We simply cook and maintain the engines. Leave it at that. We are not warriors, we are but laborers. We would perish before mightier blades than ours. I mean, I wouldn't, but the people I'm responsible for would. The old and the weak have no place in war.
A wise commander husbands the strength and the lives of his men. You do well, Koroth.
I may be a laborer, Joe, but I too have read the Analects of SupQuit'aH. This here kind of raises eyebrows like, oh really? Okay. That's a random thing for you to know.
We need laborers on the ship.
Well, beyond my crew, you are the first to call me by my proper title. Therefore, you are a laborer no longer. As Jo of SupQit'aH, I raise you in rank. I don't know, whatever the next step up would be. I can't find it right off the top of my head.
Insight command. Difficulty 1.
Okay. Let's just try it with 2.
Gain a momentum. It would be improper to make him an officer because he hasn't gone to the academy. But you would either raise him to Beck, so that's just warrior, generic. That's just all the enlisted, and then there's Boo over the Beck, the sergeant over all the other warriors under him.
Okay, so that's military. Is there? Because it doesn't sound like he particularly wants to, become a warrior necessarily. Is the status of a retainer to the Lord directly? That would, I imagine, be a kind of. You could
raise him in status by calling him your personal cook. You are the cook of the Zhou's cook, which he's now the highest ranking cook in the house. Which among laborers, that's pretty high rank.
Okay. As a reward for your perspicacity and your loyalty, I give you a choice. I will raise you to Beck, or you may be my personal cook. And a direct retainer to the Zhou of the house.
He kind of steps back a bit, a little stunned at the offer. Though I hesitate to dishonor my father and my father's father, Byru, I am tempted to join the KDF at your call, Zhou. Though I will admit my current specialties are in the arts of culinary sciences, gog farming, and butchery. Although butchery can be applied to Klingons, I would need much training to be a worthy warrior in your ranks. Therefore, if you will have me, I will be your personal cook, Zhou.
Done.
As I looked at his stats, I'm like, no, he has no business being a warrior. Unless you force him. And he's like, oh no, I can't say no.
You are now my personal retainer, and...
Well, with him being on the ship, would he be able to cook for everybody from the command staff?
Yeah, I mean, he'd be the cook. He would just,
Okay.
He might farm out the standard cooking to underlings, but... Now, Koroth, tell your people that the Lord of the House is proceeding to the station. We will arrive in, and I look at, down at my console to see what the ETA from here to there at a decent warp speed would be. We will arrive in approximately 1 standard day. Hold what you have. Your engineers are not to allow either faction to gain control of the station.
Zhou. The engineers answer to the faction of Lakor, the engineering officer of the station. I have instructed them thus far to attend to his orders. Although they are of his faction, by virtue of being his underlings, I have been one to negotiate on their behalf to ensure that the proper order of action is being maintained. Do you ask me, Zhou, to have them ignore the orders of Liquor?
Not necessarily. Tell me, what are these factions? And where do they stand?
There are 4 factions in the station. That of Mal, flight controller, Ganara, the station doctor, Liquor, the engineering officer, and Kezik, head of security. They are what's left of the senior staff after the bloodbath that occurred.
And where do they stand in loyalty to House SupQit'aH?
They are loyal to SupQit'aH, but they argue about what that loyalty means. Each has different approaches to regaining glory for the house. Though none are of blood, they all have served House SupQit'aH in the days past. Indeed, as I recall, some of them were due to join your service before the disaster in Bamath.
Well, should they prove themselves worthy, they may still have the opportunity. So, tell your engineers to continue as they have been. However, I also wish them to arrange for our transmission to be able to take over all communications channels in the station. I wish to be able to speak with all factions throughout the stations when we arrive. My engineer will pass on instructions. I'm sure that your people can do this without disobeying the orders of this Liquor or drawing too much attention to themselves. We need simply an override code. Okay.
That to give those instructions, effectively, Keldar would be doing a control engineering role opposed by Liquor. She's because it's basically him trying to outwit her in her attempts to keep control of the communication systems. But she'd be the one that would be responsible for that, or keeping an eye out on that. That's why Keldar, when Keldar was
to assist on that.
Yeah, you've had enough time to work on your thing. You'd be able to assist from where you are.
Would that be something we do now, or when we approach the station?
You would do it now because you're telling Koroth what you want him to do, what plan you want him to do, and then he'll instruct the engineers on what you want him to do, what you want them to do.
I joined the others on the bridge.
Oh, you've been on the bridge the last while because that's where you've just been working at tactical while this was going on. You've just now finished your lockdown of the station. Actually, Tarkin, you'd be on your way up by this point. Now that I think about it, because it hasn't been that long. Okay. So.
Okay. Roll 1d20.
Spend 1 momentum for an extra die.
Okie dokie.
I'll spend 1 threat at you.
Okay.
Oh. One more than them, you gain 1 momentum.
Nice.
As Keldar instructs Korath on the technicals of what needs to be done, Torek mentions a few security loopholes they can exploit in the station that will evade the Corps' gaze.
Well, yeah, seeing as I am chief of security, I would know that.
Yeah. Or if I were looking out for people doing what Keldar's talking about, this is what I'd look for. Don't do those things.
Okay.
I understand. We will have it done.
Excellent. Kapla!
Can we have a roast targ waiting for us when we get there?
I will have a full day to ensure it's roasting. It shall be tender and fall apart at your mere touch. He laughs.
Prepare. We come.
And Torg just goes, oh yeah.
Order out. We lift as soon as the base is secured behind us. Let's bring on one of our new Helms people for the moment. I guess.
Any other operations before you lift off and leave the system? You don't have that guy.
Oh. I figured he was one of the...
But look to my readouts, the ship identifies as ready for liftoff, Captain.
But you can, I will let you, since you have an appropriate con department, I will put in a placeholder pilot.
Cool.
I can take over con roles.
I have a con score of 3, so I can take over at con as well. If need be.
Did we secure the station as Oda ordered before?
Station is secured.
Oh no. Did not mean to do that.
Damn mirror universe. Hey now. There you go.
In essence, what I'll do, if you're rolling for con and it's not any of you the main characters doing it, then just roll the ship. Just roll 2 dice for the ship. 3 effectively. It's the station. It's your people doing the work. But they don't have, and assume they have focus, but they have no talents, no values, nothing, because he's just a fighter. He's a fighter pilot who's being told, "Hey, fly the ship." He's like, I mean, it's just like flying a fighter, it's just bigger. Same difference, right? Like, sort of.
Well, I do have a focus in starship operations. So that helps with anything.
Yeah. The only reason you want to make sure you have someone dedicated to it, like if you need to, you could override and do it. It's just that normally in a combat turn order, you either would be doing a con thing or a tactical thing.
No, I understand that.
Yeah. But that's a good thing to keep in mind, because anyone can override other stations. Any other preparation before... Actually, I'll give you a name. I see it. Good Klingon.
Can Tarkin get a measure of how competent his science department actually are?
They're... Put it to you this way. Your science department before was 1. It is now 2.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, it's better. You actually have people at the stations elsewhere on the ship. That's why a group of like 5 guys, like they're probably taking shifts among themselves, including the Boo. By the way, in your supporting characters, Boo Hoka is now a supporting character. So if you guys need to pull him in, he is a character you can grab and upgrade and whatnot, because you've recruited him into your rank.
Okay.
But and I'll note that he has a special ability that's specifically about scavenging, because that's his specialty, but he can do other stuff. That's just what he was trained to do.
Scavenging might come in real handy.
Yeah.
Well, you guys can't see. Oh, you can.
Also, Captain, while we were repairing the ship, I've updated the weapon systems a bit.
Excellent.
And tightened in the sights on the weapons.
Sog Tarkin, is the base secure?
We haven't made preparations yet. Odd. We're busy attending to Lara Rook. Would you like me to do that now?
Assuming Roruk is stable enough for you to leave him, you and Keldar work together.
The base's weapons are secured.
Tarkin just looks to Keldar and gives him a nod and goes to his console to determine, I guess, how to secure the facility. I guess we can't really spare anyone to remain down there.
The only person
Yeah,
you
it's
could
a
possibly
matter-
spare is Boo. You could leave him behind with a few people, but then you lose him as a supporting character because you're stationing them.
Yeah, it's basically just do what you can so that unless they have our command codes, they'll have trouble accessing.
So it's a similar role as Torg did. It's a control engineering role, difficulty. You're setting the difficulty of how hard it is to access other systems, like even just opening the doors. Like you would need codes to do things or access any of the computers.
I send the captain the master code to the station. It's weaponry.
So, how difficult do we want to make it? What do we want to shoot for?
I'll assist you with this.
I can assist as well. If needed.
3 or 4, maybe? What's your thinking?
I'm
I've
thinking
only got engineering of
4.
Oh, and the ship would
Because I
assist
made-
with
I made-
computers engineering because you're.
I made the weapons difficulty 4 to access.
Let's go for 4.
Ship assist, is it just engineering +1 since we don't actually have an engineering crew yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you do have one. It's on that station about a day away.
So I will spend 1 threat for a die, and 2. Well, no, we can only have 5 dice. So yeah, just 1 threat for a die.
Oh, their assist rolls don't count toward your maximum amount of dice rolled.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because
Well,
it's your dice pool that you're
fine.
rolling.
1 threat and 2 momentum for 2 extra dice.
Okay.
Does EPS systems apply for focus?
I'll take it. Yeah, you're using the EPS systems to be the method you're locking everything down. Things just don't turn on. Your power's being rerouted. Oh, we'll mess with the EPS system. Cool, it blows up. Oh no. 4 so far.
Shouldn't you get more? Isn't that the focus? So the
Oh yeah, there's 2 more there. It's 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 momentum plus the ship.
And
Oh, you did roll the
I'll
ship. Sorry,
re-roll
Torg, your assist roll.
I'll re-roll that 19.
Give me a second.
Okay, so that's another 2 successes.
Seven. 3 momentum generated. Hmm?
There. That didn't do anything.
So yes, you have secured the electroplasma systems in such a way that they are now locked in and preventing people from accessing the any of the powered bits of the station. And even attempting to override them will result in the electrician in question getting a very nasty burn.
Okay, I'll report to the HOD. HOD Oda, we are successful in securing the station.
Excellent. Rig the ship for takeoff.
Ship ready for takeoff. HOD.
Lift off.
Send it into orbit. Moving clear of gravity well.
Set course for Zeni Station. Warp factor, whatever our good warp factor is.
Warp 9, sir.
Warp 9. I didn't know since it was a D7 which scale we were using.
It's been updated over the years.
And the HOD will turn in his command chair to look at the lore singer. Lore singer, I need a tune.
Oh, you're encouraging her to sing the...
No. I need a song, something that is familiar to most every Klingon. We do not have the mass media capability of our foes, so we must use what resources we have. I need a tune that will catch in the ears of Klingons, that they will find themselves humming and thinking about. I will provide you with the lyrics to tell the story of the treachery against House SupQit'aH and the fall of its leaders and the assumption of their standards by their loyal sons and the loyal followers of the house.
I see what you're pushing.
Yeah, so basically, just like that basic tune that stuff gets overlaid on all the time, that catch in your head, but then the new lyrics that we're going to put out are telling the story and the promise of revenge and the downfall of the traitors, kind of thing.
And actually, normally would be generating. I'll make them spend some resources to try to drown you out. You would have been at 1, then 2, or yeah, they. I don't know why I said con. Presence command, rather. Well, con or command. Presence con or command, difficulty 4. Cecile will be assisting with the roll, unless you want her to take lead. She'll be rolling 15 with a focus.
I've got poetry libretto writing for a focus and a 17 presence command.
Yeah, you'll want to be rolling that. She'll assist you.
I'll spend my determination on great deeds, great songs. If you'll take it.
Yep.
And then let's see. Take a threat and a momentum for the third die and bold. And let's go ahead and do 3 more momentum for fourth die, which means a total of 5 with a determination spend. Okay, we'll do rolling 4 dice, 17, Focus 5. Normal comp range.
Yep.
That's actually 5 with the 2. Plus 2 for the determination. So 8
4,
total
5.
with her assist.
Yep. Gain 4 momentum. As the tales of House SupQit'aH begin to be written.
Nice. And broadcast. Broadcasting is important.
Yeah. And actually, she'll even note as well that these are tales lore songs such as this are ones that people know will grow over time because the story because there's no ending song yet. Because unless the last song is the final battle of whatever, so on. Which, I mean, if that happens, we all get to go to Stovacor, but we're not there yet. And anyone hearing the song goes, "Oh, they haven't died," because that's not in the song.
Right. But yeah, the whole thing is to kind of bring us almost to the level of folk heroes, that while all these officials are going out there, these, songs, floating around.
So in essence, you have the advantage that anyone, actually, what this means, better than that advantage, you basically reactivated your reputation. So if anyone of House SupQit'aH is trying to presence somebody or trying to influence somebody through persuasion or intimidation, what have you, you can instead, House SupQit'aH people can lean on their reputation instead, because now that reputation means something. Before, until this song started being broadcast, it didn't mean anything because the popular story was anyone who was important died.
Right.
Now it's now there's a song about it, and all the lore singers are now becoming very, even if the common soldier doesn't know it, which they will, the lore singers will make sure that story continues because they know Joe Oda wrote the song and lore singer Sasir witnessed it. Like, this is history as far as they're concerned.
Nice.
This is beautiful.
Yeah, that is kind of awesome.
All in fort ablaze, our heroes decorated, and yet the night came. The skies afire, great crimson spear aflight, dark daggers parried. An illness sudden, cure sealed, in ruin and fire, time's blade sharp. Garrison hollow, we seek the virtuous few, blood cool in shame. Song continue.
Cool.
But before that, let's see if you all die in the nebula as the song of crashing. As you're looking at a control con.
Just make sure House Martok is mentioned in the song.
The tale of convincing House Martok. No, that would be its own tale, honestly. That'll be its own thing, probably. Come on, Chancellor, join in. But yes, you're looking at control con difficulty 3. One of you can roll it to make sure Jamak doesn't screw it up, or you can trust in Jamak to pull this off.
So he'll be rolling 2 dice plus 1 for the ship die.
If he's rolling, you're basically rolling what the ship would have for this. So it'd be engines, con. So his total is 13 with a focus. Because it's presumed that he knows how to fly. Oh, no, not 3. I'm wrong. The con department's understaffed. It'd be, I forgot. It'd be a total of 11 for his roll.
Can I assist?
Well, Oda's rolling a 14 with a focus in helm control, unless anybody can beat that.
I have a focus in starship operations.
What's your control con?
My control is at 11, my con is at a 3.
14.
Yep, so you've got the best control con. If he'll take starship operations as focus.
I'll take it here.
So roll two dice then.
Yeah, or how if you want to buy more dice, we've got 5 momentum.
I'll buy 2 dice then. For 3 momentum.
You decided to
Go away.
But it's not the point right now.
Damn.
So much better with them in it.
1 hit so far.
What's our difficulty?
3.
Oof.
Give me a second.
Well, isn't that 3 is a focus though, since he's rolling?
Oh,
with
that's true.
focus?
That'd be 2 hits. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm rolling 11 for the ship. Oh, it's not on a sheet. 1 die. Ooh, good luck.
Can Tarkin assist us with the sensors to navigate the nebula, maybe?
I'd roll bad if that's possible. Otherwise, we might hit something.
For the sensors to be of help, Tarkin would have to roll Reason Science difficulty 2. Basically, he's creating an advantage to be helpful rather than an assist roll.
Okay. I'll buy a threat. Is it an assist roll? So it's just 1 dice.
Well, you're creating an advantage, so you're doing your own roll. So far, Torg isn't going to be able to get with Jamak isn't going to be able to figure this out, but Tarkin might be able to find somewhere to point them.
Okay.
Just
if I
point
can
me
buy-
and I can get us there.
I can buy 1 die with threat in order to use my bold science talent.
Ship will assist with its full science score plus sensors.
Nice. And I'll use my sensor operations focus.
Yep.
Oh. I will re-roll the. How many dice can I re-roll?
Well, you have enough. It's just that you have to cut. Oh no, you need 2. That's right. You're right.
Yeah, and I've got technical expertise in bold science, so can I re-roll the ship's one because I've got technical expertise?
Yep.
Yeah, let's try and get rid of that complication.
Yeah, and I'll re-roll the 2 unsuccessful die.
You can only reroll 1 of them.
With bold science, can I do that?
Bold science
Yeah,
lets
he's
you
got-
reroll 1 of them. Technical
he's got
technical
bold
expertise
and
is what gave you the second die to reroll, but you're using that to reroll the ship.
So I can't use both talents, just 1.
You can use both talents. It's just that bold science lets you reroll 1 die, and technical expertise also lets you reroll 1 die. So you can reroll up to 2d20.
I see.
Yeah.
Yep, sorry. I misread that. So I'll re-roll the 18.
I don't know if this would apply, but I have bold command.
No. Worth asking though. You never know.
There you go.
finally.
So there's a bit of a delay at first from Hod Oda's order as Jamak, Torg, and Tarkin try to figure a way out of here. Tarkin initially starts plotting a course and then finds that a massive storm is there, so starts plotting around that. But eventually, after a significant amount of time passing, we're able to get underway. Are you going under cloak? Or are you coming out in the open? Actually, first off, you do warp. That much we know. You're away.
What are directives again? Do we have directives?
The dictates are: make allies when possible and gather strength. Betray no ally. and make no war that is not of benefit to the Empire or its people.
On the theory that the weirdness of the expanse is going to give us some cover and also potentially troublesome, and we might need to have power to spend, I'm saying we stay uncloaked.
For 2 momentum, you can benefit from the expanse rather than being detracted from it. As far as approaching the station is concerned.
Okay. Oops, I'm about to get rid of my token as well. There we go.
Well, that's what happened last time. Okay.
Yeah, it selected everything.
All right. New scene.
Ha! We spent all our momentum. Ha ha!
You enter the Zeni system, amidst the cloud and haze of the expanse that envelops even the Zeni system itself the following day. At present is what the on screen at the moment is what is a general scan. If you want more detail, you'll need to roll. But I can tell you on a glance that this is that this bit here is an asteroid field.
The 3 lines.
Yep. And at present you are essentially long range to Zeni Station. They don't quite see you yet because there's the asteroid field and the cloud cover, so they don't know you're there yet. But you send a signal to Zeni Station, like a secret signal, go ting, like we're here. So the engineering guys you get a ping back that the communications, you have station communications under control.
All right. Same kind of visual setup as before. Lore Singer beside me, glaive in hand. Zeni Station. This is Oda, son of Kolek, and Jo of House SupQit'aH. As lord of your house, as lord of the house you pledged loyalty to, I demand you cease your internecine fighting. Restore the station to SupQit'aH control, and pledge your loyalty to me as Jo, and to SupQit'aH as the house.
You've engaged in an extended social task. Start calculating.
It's like you say that and I picture a cocktail party.
See, for Starfleet that'd be true. For Klingons, it's you hiding in the clouds shouting at them. Okay, so first let's figure out magnitude.
I don't know if I've ever done one of these before.
I've done like a handful of these, and all the time I've run STA. It's rare that it kicks in a way that's beneficial. But there are times when people have done it. I'm like, I don't know why you're doing this. You win because you're yelling at one dude, opposed to, or other situations where it's like you could just talk this out. No, we're gonna fight them and stuff. Okay, you totally could have talked them down, but I won't. I'm not telling you how to do your thing. Sorry, calculating. I can't do math. Wait. Yeah. Okay. I'll put that both in there. So you're looking at a presence command, difficulty 4, work of 20, magnitude of 4, resist of 1. And once you broadcast something's probably going to happen, and they're going to do something on their turn, as it were. Although them convincing you to switch probably isn't going to be their goal. You get because they can't even tell where you are anyway. It is Lorsinger probably would have warned you before you did this that they will likely start sending ships to look for you, to challenge you in combat in some format. But at the moment, all they're going to hear is a voice from the ether that's going to be shouting at them. So that's going to spook them quite a bit.
Well, if they challenge us, La Torg will get an opportunity to test his weapons upgrades. Okay. Do not have veterans, so I do not have a momentum left. So, we are out of momentum. Magnitude 4, so... intimidation or inspiration for a focus?
Yes.
Okay. And let's see. Going to give you 6 threat for 5 dice.
Okay.
17. Focus 5.
Sure.
Ooh. So that's actually 3. The 4 is within there. So that's 3 successes.
Whoops. The Lorsinger rolls to assist. She adds 1 more.
Okay, just enough.
Roll your command +2 in challenge dice.
7.
That is 7 work because of the resistance. Resistance coming from the fact that you're a random voice that just appeared out of nowhere as far as they're concerned. They're like, who the hell is this?
Well, they should be getting visual as well, correct?
Yeah, but it's they're a little stunned. Like they were told that's on there and they're like, what? Because they're in the middle of the little battle.
No, dude. Fuck you, dude. Oh, shit. Sorry.
It happens.
Kid trying to rearrange the house.
So that's 7 work. 20. You've generated 1 breakthrough on your quest to get the loyalty of the station.
Right.
The first breakthrough is that you've got their attention, but you know that these Klingons will, in the middle of their little succession war, need to understand that they're dealing with not just any officer, not just any HUD, but the Joe. And you presented yourself, but now it's like, no, I have to keep talking to them to get them to believe it. Because you know, if you were just a Beck fighting in a battle and your officers were yelling, it's like, should I be paying attention to that, or should I be paying attention to this firefight I'm in the middle of? But eventually a Joe with enough charisma will make any warrior attend to them over time.
Right.
So you can either let them take a turn at what they're gonna do, or you can give me 1 threat to try to roll again.
I'll go ahead and give you 1 threat to try and roll again.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do back to you, I have so much threat. This is such a big win for you if you get it. 1. Get rid of all the work you just did. Up the difficulty back to 4.
Mo.
And I'll up the resistance by 1 more for this roll. As the battle rages on and various officers start shouting at them to pay no mind to that. Your magnitude I can't influence. No, if you generate magnitude, you generate magnitude. Nothing I can do.
So work's back up to 20. Magnitude's down to 3. Difficulty's still 4, and the resistance is now 2.
Yep.
Okay.
Oops, I put it. Oh, I did put the difficulty to 5. Sorry. Wasn't 5 before. There. Diff 4 task.
Seeing if I wanted to. Okay, I'm going to challenge the value. There are no old warriors. Because what is called for here isn't that kind of rashness and battlefield boldness, but a more canny and persuasive leadership kind of thing. And we know there may not be old warriors, but there are definitely old leaders and old chancellors and old house leaders.
All right, I'll take that. I'll take that challenge.
Okay.
That's stricken from your sheet until the end of session. What are you spending it back into?
Don't suppose Roll20 gives me a strike through. No, yeah, it does. Wow. No, it didn't actually do it, but okay. So I am. I'm gonna. So assuming my appearance has, kind of taken them off guard and off balance, I'm going to hammer home the point and spend it on strike hard, strike fast. If you'll take it.
I'll take it, yeah.
Okay.
You don't have, on the argument that you don't have time for their bickering. It's like, no, you guys need to hurry up with this.
Okay, so, and since we don't have any momentum and I'm a bold guy, I'll give you, got 2 already. I'll give you 2 threat for the 3rd die. I'm bold. Task roll, number of dice 3.
I had a bold idea.
That's 5 plus 2 for the determination spin, 7. Eight.
What's your bold idea there, Targ?
Well, as chief of security, I could beam over and force them into submission.
That might be what happens if Oda's demands aren't met. To do that, by the way, you would have to move into their area and beam over with their shields down. Which...
So there's 7.
Weren't we given? Didn't we give them an override code so we can drop their shields at any moment?
No, that was communications.
Yeah, it was just communications you have control of.
I can always hack into the shield matrix.
So that's 7. I'll spend a momentum for resistance to get that down to 0.
7 work, second magnitude.
I hold the glaive of SupQit'aH. I command the Doc Chanaka. Beside me is Lore Singer Sasir, whom all who serve SupQit'aH know. I am Jo Oda of SupQit'aH. Follow me to reclaim our rightful place and glory.
Your mattress will be gone.
So, with that roll, With that roll, you are able to get a second breakthrough, and that you know that by this point it'll be hard for them to ignore the call to battle. Warriors, succession war is one thing. It's one thing to have a succession battle on your own ship. It's a whole other thing when a bigger battle is ahead of you. You tend to drop everything to deal with the bigger threat. You're dealing with very.
I'm still
Just gonna do that again. So that's what's happened so far. Now they're going to start launching their action. First off, somebody. There we go. When the first thing someone does is they put up their shields. And minor, so, and they'll activate their weapons. But they have nothing to shoot at, because they can't see you yet. And that's all Zeni Station could do for the moment. It goes back to, I'll spend no, because he can't do that from security. It has to be somebody else that does it. He can try to look for you, so he's gonna, yeah, he's a little spooked. He's gonna try to look for you. But I'm swift tasking, so my difficulty's increased. I have to beat difficulty 3 to see you. It is this guy at the, not terrible, would be great because he's a security officer, he's a security officer. I really should look at these pictures before I roll. The reason terrible. This is great. Cool. Buy 1 die, 2 dice, 3 dice. Let's know where she can shoot. So she.
Yeah, she got it.
Oh, one thing I didn't ask before. Oda, would you have ordered the ship to have its shields up when it jumped in, while it's hiding in the cloud, or leave them down?
I'd probably have it up.
That's something you can have done before you jumped in, as you were jumping in. You have your cloak on, so you can have your shields on. So you can tell from their sensor ping that their sensor sweeps go wide and they've swept over your ship, and you can tell that they're now narrowing to sensor lock on you. They don't have a proper lock though. They haven't found a weakness, but they are aware where you. But that's their turn. I can't do anything from there.
I don't want to cloak because I want them to see that this is actually the Dokchanaka. Dokchanaka coming in towards them. So what's my difficulty now? Is it down to 2 unless you spend?
Down to 2 unless you spend, so I'll bring it up to 3, 4.
Man, you're just mean.
I know you have the stats for it.
Fair enough. So, okay, let's see. We got
He is
3
not a threat
momentum.
That, and we gave him plenty of threat.
Yeah.
So take 1 for the 3rd die, 1 threat for the 3rd die and bold, and then there's the 4th die. Take 2 more threat and that momentum for die number 5. 5. Let's see what happens. It's 5 successes with that 5 for the focus.
You get 2 hits from her.
So 3 momentum back. And then 7 challenge dice.
Seven right now.
let's do... let's just stick with the standard breakthrough and save the momentum.
Okay, so on the third breakthrough, you know that the various officers are probably starting to switch over. No, not enough to stop the succession war, but enough that there's more. You're actually starting to get communications from some of the officers, such as Maul and even Liqueur is starting to. Oh, sorry, Kanara, I should say, are calling you to say, "Yep, we understand. We're going to stop what we're doing." But you know, Liqueur and Kezek haven't really said anything yet, so. Either they're not listening or they're still battling between themselves. Someone doesn't want their succession war to stop because, you know, they could have this whole station to themselves. And if they beat you, pretty awesome. So the station tries to take a shot at you.
Oh, hell no. That's going to be responded to with in kind. Weapons are charged.
Have difficulty 3 shot because you're not in medium range. At long range. And for 2 momentum, the cloud cover can act as a bit of either cover or it can it can increase their difficulty to make it harder to get a shot on you.
Yeah, let's increase their diff.
Yep. Diff for the shot is now 4.
Select. There you go.
I'll spend my threat to try to get 3 dice. Hey, security person's actually getting a chance to actually hit something. Starship and everything. So. No, that's not right.
Yeah. Wrong dice.
4 is 13. Magical system. Get to add your security rating. Complication same.
Dang it.
And the station does not help because the station's in the middle of a succession war. I can't help it right now. That's still enough though, unfortunately. That it's total generate 1 threat. And I'll roll damage. One moment, I did not think she was going to hit you.
What am I close? What
6,
am I?
7,
Are we
8.
close enough to hit with what weapons?
We're not going to shoot.
So that's 9 total.
I was just gonna give a warning shot across the bow to get their attention.
Minus your resistance, which is 4. My minus 4 is
5.
5. So your shields go down by 5. You have a breach coming your way.
Oh boy.
Oh no, they did a breach to your structure.
God damn it, I just repaired that.
I now have to roll challenge dice to see if any of you get hurt. Nope. Some parts of the ship start blowing out, but thankfully there was no crew in those compartments, so no one's hurt. Well, some stuff is hurt, but no one important is hurt. She does not have enough threat to swift task and shoot again, so turn's over.
All right, let's see if we can't finish up this extended task. Because some of you have seen the benefit of joining me and giving up this futile little petty war of yours to join us in the greater quest for glory of House SupQit'aH, the reconquest of Bamoth sector, and the defeat of cowards and traitors who tried to overthrow us. I will refrain from returning fire once. I ask you again, stop fighting each other. Return to your loyalty to House SupQit'aH and to myself as its leader.
Diff 1, unfortunately, I have no way to bring that back up.
Yay. Okay. So I will give you one threat for third die I'm bold. See if I can't do a little bit of momentum, maybe. So that's 4. So 3 momentum.
Oops. Hopefully. He does, and gives you +2.
Capped. So let's do 4. I'm going to spend a momentum to re-roll 3 zeros. Total of 8.
And that finishes the extended task. The station. There's a brief moment where everyone's ready for another shot. Torg's probably getting ready to lock, like, even despite there's probably, like, if the HUD asks him to shoot, he's getting ready to shoot and start planning how to invade the station. Keldar kind of listening in on the communications, waiting to hear anything because there's a bit of silence. Arkin watching on sensors to see if there's any ships flying out of the station or any incoming torpedoes, because that's probably the next thing they'll do since they got one hit. And there's just this pause of like a minute or two. Nothing happening, no shots, no nothing. Shields and the weapons power down.
I accept your lives into my hands. We will be docking repair crews to prepare to repair our damage.
On screen, one of the officers aboard the station appears. I am La Kenzie, the chief of security here on the station, and it seems that I am in error, Joe. I thought myself mighty enough to seize the station and indeed defeat you in combat, but it would seem that your words are stronger than the disruptor arrays I have at my command. Although I would relish in the chance to defeat you in open battle, I recognize that I am not in... She looks around. I am not in the position to challenge your authority any further. I leave my life at your feet, Joe.
I accept your life into my hands, and you into my service and the service of House SupQit'aH. You shoot well, but perhaps too quickly. Take this as a lesson, La. Real power lies in the heart, not in the weapon at the end of your arm.
Qapla', Joe Oda.
Qapla'. We will join you shortly. Assemble the senior staff, those who survived. And tell my cook that my crew and I look forward to the Targ.
She furrows her brow like, what? Yes, Joe. I'll send the order.
Chalaka out. Take us in, Jamok. Seer
just kind of takes a nice deep breath and Probably, I imagine she's the only person who's visibly disturbed by this, because you're all bloody Klingons and stoic persons, you.
You did well, Torg. Well do I know how hard it is to hold one's hand when fired upon. But in this case, we needed the station intact, as well as the loyalty of its crew. Well done.
Captain, I was not going to shoot to kill just to scare them a bit.
Cecile laughs at that.
I'm gonna fill in my last value with that real power is in the heart.
Docking within the station, Joe.
Well, let us see what the universe has brought us today. Swear loyalty now.
Oops. Oh, I almost forgot one person. As various officers line up to meet you at the airlock. Oops, Work's not there. I almost brought him on the screen.
I'll just stroll right up into the middle of them. Kapla!
Kapla! They all yell back.
Torg follows the captain into the crowd.
This is a glorious day. The confusion of the past weeks is over. Today, we take the first steps of restoring House SupQit'aH and casting down the villains, the treacherous dogs who betrayed us.
As you're speaking, Cecile takes out a holo imager and flicks it on and just starts scanning the assemblage of officers and warriors piling into the area.
We will walk together the path of blood, and we will win glory for ourselves, for your houses, and for SupQit'aH.
They all cheer and hold up their weapons and shake them.
For now, we feast. Koroth, lead the way to the Targ.
Everyone laughs and cheers. And then Joe nods and starts leading you inward into the station.
I brought the barbecue sauce.
And I'll
Whiskey base.
I'll gather up the Mal, Canera, Liqueur, and Kaziki, and usher them in with me to the feasting hall. Or mess deck, whatever the hell.
Yeah. The banquet hall.
That's right. You know, the party rental space that the station keeps to make a little money on the side.
Cecile starts flicks off her holo imager and starts following after walks up to the three of you. Still left at the end.
Shall we follow them in?
I'm gonna follow.
It is time for celebration after such a trying time between our houses.
The Sierra looks to you, Torg.
What's up?
You wish to attend the festivities, La?
Of course. I'm famished.
She walks along with you to the rest of the way. As the Duck Chinooka is docked with Zeni Station, there is naught but celebration and cheering and much blood wine being shared.
Oda will drink no blood wine. He has sworn an oath that no wine shall pass his lips until the enemies of SupQit'aH have been defeated.
Torg will abstain from the alcohol as well.
Tarkin will gladly take the blood wine and down a couple of the tankards. He looks at Keldar. Will you be joining me?
Yes, indeed, I will.
As an old warrior, I know to relish these moments. There are very few years left.
I will sit down with Tarkin and I will question him about his history and the battles he has won.
Keldar and Tarkin, give me fitness medicine difficulty 2, as this blood wine is strong. It kicks like a targ.
Can I spend my determination on questions are the beginning of wisdom, the mark of a true warrior?
I'm gonna have to say no. Unfortunately, no. I don't know if the questions of the blood wine are gonna be applicable here.
What's the difficulty for this? Sorry.
Difficulty 2. Oh.
Okay.
What was the roll again?
Fitness plus medicine.
I'll use a point of momentum to get 3 dice.
Okay.
That's appropriate.
Can I use xenophysiology to as a focus, not to get drunk?
Sure, you know how much blood wine, how to measure out your blood wine, still get a nice buzz, but not like get wasted.
Okay. There you go. I'll keep my senses and tell tall tales to Keldar in order to, divert from telling a true history of Tarkin.
Keldar, you try to ask your questions, but it gets kind of hard to string words together a little bit. Like the first few questions you're able to get out, and then after a while, it's like your cup's empty one moment, and someone's already refilled it for you, and wow, this is a great year. And most of the crew are properly smashed.
Okay. Yeah, I will pass out whenever I pass out.
They don't make warriors like they used to, as he drinks another tankard of this blood wine. Get me another.
I just realized I don't know why I took you guys off the board. You're still I'll mark you here. Sorry, has a bit of a... You see Cecile walking around with a hall imager, kind of walk around the edges, trying to catch everyone cheering, and some people start singing songs badly.
Oh, we need to get the song going.
You can attempt a presence command difficulty 2 to try to get everyone into the spirits of things, and at least singing a song that's easier for everyone to sing.
Right. Which hopefully ours will be, since we based it on a familiar tune.
Cecile suggested that she put it to a song, a drinking song, because, well, those are the only ones people can sing when they're sloshed on blood wine.
Command difficulty 2.
Even the enlisteds can sing it. Well, they can shout it. Singing is a strong word.
I'll give you a threat for bold in the third die.
You will sing this or else.
4 successes, goodness. Got 1 float out of that.
Eventually, Lord Singer comes over to your tables after doing a round and everyone's singing the tale of House SupQit'aH. Its fall and soon to be rise. Joe and officers, I have something to report.
Say on, Lord Singer.
I understand now, after asking around, what exactly started all this mess. It would seem that the previous commander of this station was a cousin of yours, who sadly shamed himself by refusing to go to battle to save the station. However, his first officer challenged him and killed him in battle. Chaos reigned for a while, until the officers that were left, ones we met in the catwalk at the dock, were the ones who were able to manage to seize control and stabilize the station. Although there were those of SupQit'aH here, they dishonored themselves and the house. But it is their officers and your actions that have warmed their blood, smashed the chill that they had. Indeed, it would seem that these 5 looked... how do I put it? They looked like they weren't sure what to do with themselves. None of them were commanders, none of them were of blood, and all merely sworn to the house. So they chose to bicker over these matters. The decision now to fight rests largely by your words and the strength of our arms.
Well, I am sure that we will manage to keep them busy enough in the coming days to prevent such internal squabbles from raising their ugly heads again. And I kind of look around the big room. At least it appears that we may have found enough crew for the Dokchanaka.
Indeed, the station is full. It has more than enough, even with the battles, to station the Dokchanaka. The station itself will be left in the hands of Log, and the enlistees that would normally be manning a station of this size. Since I imagine that you wish to make the Duktanaka the flagship rather than Zeni Station as your base of operations.
Indeed. However, I need to determine if there are enough skilled junior officers and enlisted to perhaps be stationed at Dalu outpost. If in future the Chanaka can seed enough cloaked probes to act as listening posts, it is excellently positioned as a forward base of operations, base of observation.
Give me Reason Command difficulty 3 as Cecile hands over a pad that has the resources that she's able to collect from the drunkards around her. She warns you that the numbers may be a little inflated to sound, well, no one wants to sound like they're understaffed. It doesn't reflect well on them.
Reason Command diff 3, so another threat for bold and the third die. And I'll give you 2 since we got the momentum. 2 momentum for a 4th. Just be sure and hit it. And this is what? 14. I can reroll 1 though. 1, 14, 5. There we go.
You're able to figure out how to, in such a way to, it won't be a lot of, you'll be definitely leaving it to junior officers, ensigns effectively, or log, you'll have to split some of them up with some, sufficiently skilled boo to kind of help them support both stations. So you're splitting up the junior officers a bit to support both Zeni Station and the listening post, if you will. But they can do it. It's just barely. But they could do it.
Fair enough. That helps out our strategic situation greatly. Assuming we can go out and sew those probes and communication things. Tarkin, I'll need you and Keldar when he awakens to work on rigging some stealthed probes for the Duktanaka to drop around the sector, transmit information, and let us keep a better eye on what our enemies are up to.
Tarkin keeps a steady gaze as he looks over to Keldar. Perhaps it may take some time before Keldar awakes, but I shall ensure perhaps an antidote. I can conjure up an antidote if you require.
We have a medical officer now. Well, do I remember the headaches that the anti-intoxicants induce?
Very well, Ahod. I shall take him with me, and this new medical officer. Looks around for Canera, I think it was.
You find her nice and drunk elsewhere in the hall.
Because she's a Klingon dog.
Tarkin.
Oh, there you are. Sorry, I assumed way too far in. I was like, where'd you go?
Is she, I make an assessment as to whether she's actually able to help at all.
Any medical task she needs to do will be at increased difficulty because she's awake, but her hands sway a bit and she's kind of having a hard time standing straight. But she's awake.
Tarkin probably won't take the chance and just goes to Hod. It appears our new doctor is indisposed. We shall have to get her assistance another time. I shall attend to Keldar and ensure that he assists in this task.
Well enough. Tomorrow is soon enough to begin. We can take one evening for celebration, I hope.
As you command. And Tarkin just goes back to maybe joins Canera and grabs a tankard and starts drinking.
In the interim, while he stepped away, she tries to wake him up. May she take a momentum from you. May she take one momentum to add an extra die.
Yes.
Aw. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Does that count as her first activation?
Oh, does she have a way to reroll that? I don't think so. She's brand new. That's Liqueur. Wrong character, dude. This character. She fails with a complication. You want her to spend 2 momentum to not accidentally hurt Keldar?
Yeah, we've got momentum, don't we? So,
yeah,
Would it
that's
be-
fine if you want to. Let it go. Let it go.
Tark, when you get back, you notice that the good doctor, the ship's surgeon, if you will, has decided that the best way to wake Keldar up is to give him more blood wine. However, you're able to get to her before she drowns the poor guy, because he's not awake. I mean, that is a way to wake someone up. Just shock them, but he's gonna drown if she keeps doing that.
La, what are you doing?
I'm waking him up. See?
He's in no state for that.
Oh.
He's passed out. Cannot take any more.
Oh.
And then he moves her out of the way.
Oh, that makes sense. I just thought he didn't like blood wine very much. Then she falls over.
Too much.
Thud.
These young warriors cannot take the blood wine. He looks around for another drinking partner as another one of his falls.
Make no mistake, Torg likes to drink, he's just not in the mood right now.
Now we can begin to look for ways to start striking back against our enemies.
Sorry, Tarkin, what were you saying?
I was just saying that Tarkin would just look for other drinking partners, considering his last 2 have just fallen. So we'll just continue to party as I guess Hodder and Torg oversee the festivities.
This here moves a bit more toward Torg and Hodder. So, since we've regained our crews, we're back to fighting shape, at least for one ship. What do you believe the next mission for the Dokchanaka should be? Could attempt to rally more warriors, attempt to pull Starfleet into this matter, or battle with our enemies here as soon as we can.
I think the acquisition of more warriors is
Mom, you're
will be an ongoing mission. We will do it whenever we can. And I believe, however, the best way to do that is to achieve some success, even if small, against our enemies. Plus, we want to establish a sensor and communications monitoring net within the larger Bemoth sector. I think we need a target, something that will hurt our enemies, but something that will... How do I put this? But also something that will not risk our somewhat still fragile position.
I mean, it's something to strengthen our position, but strike a devastating blow to our enemy.
Perhaps not truly devastating, but make them
At least
disperse
make it
their
hurt.
forces, hit some internal supply lines of some sort, take out a convoy. First and foremost, we need information. So, unless either of you have...
I still have my contacts within Starfleet Command. I can do some research into what happened with the Kismet and Bemoth.
That might be of value. However, I don't want to try and bring the Federation in on this yet. Knowing them anyway, they will dismiss it as an internal matter. But
I have some favors I can call the Admiral.
See what you can find out. I believe our next mission, Cecile, would be to take the Doctrinaca back into enemy space and see what we can find, see what we can learn, see what targets present themselves.
So you're looking at a insight security difficulty 3 to puzzle out a good point. Right now you lack enough information to do a reason roll, and it's fairly difficult just out of sheer... because you're trying to hit, as you said, things that are accessible, but also something that the Doctrinaca could reasonably achieve on its own.
Right. We need something that will make a good story, but something that we can definitely succeed at. And fortunately, my security officer with his high security score is sober. And I can assist with that. I've got a decent security and a good insight.
Wouldn't being sober be a good thing at this point?
Yeah, that's what I was meaning. That we need to do an inside security roll. Unfortunately, there you are, all nice and sober, which makes it much easier for you to do that roll. And I think mine's score is high enough to be able to help you as an assist.
I mean, I have an insight of 9 with security 5.
So you're rolling 14. I'm actually rolling 15, so maybe I better take the lead and you assist. But wait, you have bold security or something, don't you?
I have bold command.
Oh, okay.
Something I needed last week.
Yeah.
Okay. So strategy and tactics is a focus, maybe?
Oh yeah, totally. So strategy problem.
Okay, so what's the diff again? Diff 3. There it is. Okay, so...
I'll roll 1 for support.
Yep.
Okay. Take a momentum for a third die. This is 3 dice. 15. And focus disciplines 4. So that's 3 with the 2, so a total of 4 successes. successes, not for momentum.
You're able to determine a spot that would be most beneficial for the Dakchinaka to go. It will involve there are let's roll this. There will be 3 possible targets that you could hit. One is a convoy that's coming out of Federation space into Klingon space that you know will be going, and it's a route that you know commonly goes to the other houses. You could hit them once they enter Klingon space, basically jump out of the expanse and hit them. A second one involves attacking a Ferengi marauder that's inside the expanse somewhere. And if you're able to seize that, you could use that as a secondary ship to kind of bait enemy ships into thinking that it's a merchant, then hit whoever answers the merchant's call. The last one is straight up attacking one of the military supply routes that one of the houses has. Because House SupQit'aH is aware of their subordinate houses, they will have changed their movements to a degree, but physics are physics. Your world is here, my world is here. There's only so many ways you can get between the 2 points, right? So you could specifically target the first 2 target basically all 3 of them in different ways. Sorry, the first one attacks all of them together. They all get hit equally. The second one is more of a setup for a mission down the road where you can use that merchant attack as a Trojan horse type tactic.
Right.
The third one, you're aiming at a particular house like Banan, Rasa, or Gamola to hit their supply line, which is straight up attacking one of their routes. The only risky part of that is that you're straight up attacking Klingon ships, whereas the other 2 you're attacking either Marauder or a Federation, not a Federation convoy, but a people coming from Federation space through. Because I doubt you're going to attack Starfleet people, and they wouldn't be shipping stuff anyway. It'd be Federation civilians or non-Federation alien species that are passing through.
Okay. So a convoy that's moving from Federation into Klingon space to supply the other houses. Take the Ferengi Marauder that's in the Expanse to use later as bait, or hit one of the other houses' supply lines, internal supply lines directly.
And that's actually that kind of fits a scale of easy to hard, because hitting a Federation convoy is fairly easy. It's just a matter of getting them before they yell for help. Marauder is a straight up fight with a proper Marauder. It's not a warship, but they can defend themselves. And the last one is like you're fighting Klingon ships at that point, because they would escort. It'd be a military convoy you're hitting. They'd have a couple ships defending it. Not the biggest ships in the fleet, because it's a convoy. It's not that important.
With the Starfleet option, could we maybe persuade them to give us intel?
Well, they won't be Starfleet. They'll be some sort of civilian traders of some kind. Just coming out of Federation space into Klingon space.
But my name within the Federation does bring some loyalty and some renown.
The only problem I see, La, is we would need your name would be known among Starfleet officers. I don't know if the average citizen or a spacer would be aware. If we were to invoke your name, we'd need to attract a Starfleet vessel to the convoy and alert them to your presence on the battlefield.
Considering I was once trained by a particular admiral, I can get his attention rather easily through a spy network.
I would rather you attempt that through back channels for the present. When we attack this convoy moving from Federation into Klingon space, we would need to do our best to allow the traders themselves opportunity to reach their escape pods and make the escape. Starfleet and the Federation look poorly on attacks that kill civilians.
If we do not kill the civilians and have them reach out to the admiral, it would be advantageous to us.
You're thinking of passing a message to those escaping and have them possibly bring it back to Starfleet.
Correct.
What do you think, Lore Singer?
It'd be tricky. We'd have to make sure to do just enough damage to disable the ship and raid it, while also passing a message on to them, without them really realizing that they have it. It would be something that we need to hide from the civilians themselves, but something that Starfleet and security would find later and look into. Doable, just difficult. It's a tactic that SupQuit'aH isn't normally known for, but then again, the fact that we're not known for it might actually be... He smiles. The fact that we're not known for it also lies in line with the fact that we're... SupQuit'aH's blood have always been known to try the unconventional to solve problems. So they might actually believe it's from us.
And what is it that we will seek from the Federation, from this admiral of yours? Information about this Kismet and Captain Grinnan and the Moth incident?
Correct. I can contact a certain Admiral Harris. I was once trained by him in the academy.
If we can determine through these contacts whether or not the Federation actually had anything to do with it, that would be to our advantage.
And I also served with him on the USS Gotham, my former ship. May she rest in peace.
We would also need to include some way for this admiral to communicate with us.
He will know how. He is the only one. He and I already have a subspace channel key to he and I.
So, it sounds like that this will serve both to hit our enemies, perhaps doubly hard if we make external traders less willing to cross into to attempt to do business or supply them, and perhaps get us a source of information outside the Empire about exactly what happened on Bamoth. I see several advantages here.
Admiral Paris was one of the ones who helped me escape the war. So I trusted him explicitly.
Very well. Warsinger, unless you can see any significant objections, I propose we hit this convoy once it moves into Klingon space from Federation territory.
I'll have the briefing notes written up for tomorrow's meeting. I doubt anyone's going to be in a, pardon me, anyone's going to be in a condition to have a nighttime briefing.
Ha. Indeed not. So, La Torg, you and I will have the distinct pleasure of having clear heads and hydrated bodies tomorrow morning. I look forward to speaking loudly to the other officers.
I look forward to it as well.
And new scene.
My last momentum, you bastard.
Oops, shoot. Rourke's still there. I'd like to see him. Keldar, you wake up in the medical bay following morning with Kanara administering the appropriate medication to wake you out of it.
Who are you? What are you doing to me?
Good morning, sir. I am Bu Kinara. I am the ship surgeon. I am now the ship surgeon of the Doktanaka. I believe I tried to administer an extra bottle of blood wine to you, sir, to try to wake you. It had the opposite effect. On the plus side, I think that cold you were developing is now well and truly dead. She
I was
smiles.
developing a cold. Ugh. Rourke is still not awake? How long has it been?
It is the day after your, or our drinking party. The La has been unconscious for about 3 days now. We're working still to see if we can rouse him. We have him stable for the time being. I intend, after the briefing, to speak with Sol Tarkin to discern what we can do to help speed his recovery. But at the moment, sir, you and I have a... Well, yes, I have to go as well, because I'm the medical officer now. We have to attend a briefing about our raid that the HUD plans.
I will attempt to stand up.
You stand up and feel in your feet, and everything from your feet up to your hips is pins and needles.
I will attempt to walk to the lift normally.
You walk over there. It's a little stilted, but you're able to walk. It's just uncomfortable.
Okay, and I'll head to the briefing room. War room, whatever it is.
As you two step away, a patch of Rourke's skin shifts from the Klingon hue to a machined plate.
Oh no.
Oh. Oh.
Swear to God, if you
And
force
that-
fraud my first officer.
Will be the end of today's tale. For all of you who are watching out there, thank you very much for watching, and we hope to see you again next week when we see whether or not this raid shall continue or not.